So if you haven't worked it out already, we're in Turkey, in the city of Konya. It's about an hour and 10 minutes probably from Istanbul. We flew in last night. Population 2.1 million. And behind me is the reason we're here. This is the Mepsan headquarters in Konya. They've got offices in Istanbul as well, which are really their international headquarters. But this is the factory. And we've been given the chance to go around and look at all the 5 divisions that manufacture all the components that go into their dispensers and several other bits of equipment as well. So catch up with us on the factory floor.
I'm here in the Mepsan showroom where they have a range of dispensers which are designed to show the range of customisation that is available to their customers. So starting here we have the SmartLine all-in-one system. As you can see, you've got 2 types of fuel on here, a touch screen and also contactless payment technology, so you can pay contactless. And what's really interesting about this is Mepsan's fleet fueling system. So this here is a nozzle kit, and this basically talks to the car to make sure that the correct vehicle is being fueled. So it actually reduces fuel thefts because it has to be in at the correct angle, so only the cars that are part of the fleet can be fueled. Now looking at the future of fueling, we're here on an electric dispenser. What's interesting about this is it actually looks like a traditional dispenser. So here we have an AC and a DC charger. So one's up to 32 kilowatts, the other's up to 150. And more interestingly as well, we also have these destination type chargers, which are designed to go into places like shopping centres or out on the street. And basically these are the types of dispensers that are going to be needed to build that electric infrastructure that's going to be so key for those in the future. So now onto here, this is a combination pump. So this has obviously got AdBlue as well as your fuel. So this would be really used for commercial vehicles, larger vehicles like trucks and buses. But it's quite interesting that they're able to put all these types of fuels into one dispenser. Again, we have four different fuel types on here, but what makes this pump dispenser really interesting is that you can actually differentiate the prices whether a customer is paying by cash or card. Now this isn't essential, but this is again just showing the options that are available to customers. Mepsan are really keen to accommodate a customer's needs. And finally, we're going to finish up on this dispenser, which is probably a bit larger than what we're used to seeing as a dispenser. But what's interesting about this one, again, it's a combination pump. We've got AdBlue and also our traditional fuels, but also the reason this extra bit is on here is because it also fuels LPG. So you've got both LPG and traditional fueling all on one dispenser. And also on here, what we can see is a built-in screen here on this dispenser which can show advertising, which is getting bigger and bigger within the industry. Now Mepsan have been doing this for some time, and interestingly the screen isn't set to just one size, so they can actually, based on their customers' needs, build in the screen to their own specifications. So now we're going to go over to Nick, who's going to talk you through the rest of Mepsan's products.
Thank you, Siân, for taking us through all the Mepsan options when it comes to dispensers. From those to this, very much the future. Robotic fueling. Very simple. This plunger opens up your fuel cap. These nozzles fill up your fuel. What could be more simple? This was done for the Istanbul Trade Fair very recently. Not sure how long it'll be before these are on the petrol stations, but you never know. Might be coming to one near you soon. Over here now to something else that's very, very big in Turkey. And in other parts of the world as well. The further south you go, the more gas becomes more interesting. And this is a gas dispenser like no others. It's got all the standard switches and buttons. Start, very easy. If you run into trouble, stop, which I'm sure I would do if I came to fill my lorry up with one of these. I can't even drive a lorry, but here, this is the difficult bit. Never done this before either. Very good. Not for your average grandmother, I'm sure. But if I can manage it, just about anybody can. So the last 2 things I want to show you here in this very, very, very impressive showroom. Tyre and water. Tyre inflator, fill up your car with water. Very, very standard. All the buttons. Tables here, the bar is set by the size of your vehicle. And this is very, very popular in Italy and Spain and Croatia. It's not just Turkey. Very simple to operate. This though, the outdoor payment unit, very important to Mepsan, linking to all the products that they provide. And what I've learned today is that you have to be automated in Turkey as a retail station. If you're not, the government will come down on you very, very hard. 48 hours you've got to get your maintenance in place if you've got a problem, or else you will get a $100,000 fine. This talks to other pumps, it talks to Gorbaco pumps, it talks to Wayne pumps as well. So, okay, we're now going to go in the factory and see where all this stuff is made.
This is where it all begins, with a circuit board. So this machine here, this turns and puts all the components into the circuit board. So previously this would have been done manually. So this, in the last 13 years, this has been in use and has obviously increased production. And the end result is this.
And from this, it gets cut into 8 pieces, standing next to a Smart Line H pump for unleaded petrol. The flow meter is under here. This fits right into the flow meter there. It's measuring the amount of fuel, and the information is being tracked then from here to the brain of the whole thing, to the CPU. And it's from here obviously that the measurement of everything that's happening in this pub, fuel-wise, is being monitored, checked and working correctly.
During our factory tour, I've actually stumbled across something quite interesting. So Mepsan are actually looking to move into the convenience market, leveraging their strong relationships they've built with retailers. And right here is part of a new suite of vendor products. So this here is a vending machine, which would be ideal really for unmanned sites, or perhaps sites where it's not manned 24/7, but they are still dispensing fuel during that time. So obviously you can run a range of products in here. They're also looking at coffee machines, cigarette dispensers, and if I show you this as well, a little dispenser for your 4-legged friends. So you can put in the money and out comes the food, so you can keep your pets fueled. So now we're going to go back to Nick on the factory floor.
This is my friend, I'm calling him Batuan. Batuan was the first person I ever met from Mepsan many years ago. What it's doing is it's actually making the pistons that go inside the flow meters on the pump. And there's several of these robots all over the place. I'd like to give them all names. I mean, this is so sweet. And it's so sublime the way it's just moving around, not stopping, working all day. Anyway, Batuan, I'll see you in a bit. Right, just walking here, I've got these in my hand. And the reason is, because we're going to turn one of those into one of these. And it's this machine that does that. This machine is cutting the metal. This is really heavy. Turning it into that with the use of diamonds. Diamonds are forever, gold, there must be some connections.
There are 5 parts to the factory, and this is the final part where the dispensers actually get put together. Now all the pieces of equipment in here, from the sheet metals, is all produced in this factory. So they've gone through loads of testing to make sure that it's actually fit and ready to go. Now as it goes along, it actually goes through even more testing to ensure that these dispensers are working as they should be. So what we're going to do now is go to Nick at the end of the line, who's going to see how they turn out.
And at the end of the day, after it's all been said and done, this is what it's all about. This is a Smart Line LPG dispenser on its way to Agaz. They have 1,000 sites in Turkey, specialising in LPG, regular readers to erpecnews. It's standing proud here, waiting to be picked up or delivered. For us, it's the end of an exciting day. We've seen the whole production facility from start to finish. And it's been hopefully as enjoyable for you to watch this on ENTV and erpecnews Live. This has been Needs and Siân Davies in Konya, Turkey, signing off.